In the Water White Paper, the government states that it has secured £104 billion of private investment to transform our water infrastructure. Can you confirm, Secretary of State, where that money is coming from? That it's Ofwat says it's coming from the 36% increase in customer bills, which will come over the next 5 years. Is that correct?
Well, it's complicated because it's about timing. So the money up front comes from the people who are invested in the water companies, but it is recovered over time.
That's right.
Well, actually, analysis by the University of Greenwich found that in almost every year since privatisation, customers' bills directly covered the capital expenditure of the water companies as well as the day-to-day operational expenditure. So when the government talks about securing $104 billion of private investment, actually that is money that has come from people's water bills.
But I did answer the question. It's about a time frame. The money gets put in and then it is recovered over time.
Over the lifetime of an asset.
But you agree with the assessment that actually all of the investment in the capital expenditure and the day-to-day operational costs is met by the bills. So can you confirm that since privatisation, water companies have extracted £85 billion in dividends and have accumulated more than £60 billion in debt? So given that the Greenwich research is correct and that capital and operational costs have all been met by bill payers, what is the point of maintaining a privatised structure to what is a natural monopoly, namely water?
Well, I mean, if you'd like to nationalise the water industry, you need to work out which taxes you're going to put up or which areas of public spending you're going to choose not to spend money on, because obviously nationalising the whole thing would cost an enormous amount of money and take an enormous amount of time.
That's not what the figures that have been produced actually suggest. And of course you haven't
done... Well, they are disputed figures, as you
know.
No,
sorry, they're not. You can't dispute them because you haven't done any analysis of them, have you?
We have.
No, you haven't.
Cost of nationalisation.
There was the FOI by Professor Becky Mulby in January of this year. What analysis has your department undertaken to understand the comparative cost to the public of continuing with the current privatised model versus the cost of public ownership of the water industry, both during the remainder of PR24 and over the next 30 years? Your response: the government has no intention to nationalise and therefore has not assessed the ongoing costs of continuing with current privatised model versus the public ownership of the water industry. You've not actually done the math.
Well,
I would dispute that. Anyway.
That's your own words.
So we have published a note, which I'm happy to resend to the committee, on an assessment of the costs of nationalisation. So regulated capital value of the water sector is the closest proxy for the total value of the sector's debt and equity. That was estimated at £106.7 billion in 2025. If the sector were to be nationalised, the total cost of that nationalisation would reflect the cost of both purchasing the equity in the companies and the cost of assuming their existing debt liabilities. Now, that is a proxy because there are many uncertainties around that, but we have published a note on that, which I'd be happy to research.
Yes, but as you know, 3 of the water companies are publicly traded, and their stock market valuation is considerably lower than their RCV. So actually, using the RCV model, you're inflating the price. And then, as you say, when you add the debt burden that those companies have, actually, they're not attractive prospects at all.